My question, first, thank you very much for your informative speech. You mentioned that historically there has been cooperation between Muslims and Christianity and Judaism in like 10 centuries back. Mm-hmm. And so it gives me the impression that at the beginning there was good relationship that lasted for several centuries. And suddenly something happened that brought animosity, or something that is naturally to think of it as artificial. I would appreciate if you shed some light on that. Mm. And in the light of this question, it comes to a second question, which is because we don't want to live in the past, as you mentioned. It addresses the situation in today. You know, you mentioned that Muslims have good relationship with neighbors. You know, they are engineers, doctors, professionals, serve the society. And you see there is a kind of animosity that is something not natural, that faces Muslims against Christianity, that is not a natural mechanism within the two religions. I would appreciate if you shed some light on that that artificial mechanism of animosity, and in the light of the answering to these questions, could you elaborate on when these differences disappear, hopefully by mutual cooperation, what benefits Muslims would bring to Western societies?
I think that, lest I be misunderstood, in the early centuries there was both conflict and cooperation, not one or the other. There was both conflict and cooperation. And I think that exists today, conflict and cooperation. What I'm talking about is where we have to go in terms of moving on in the future. And it seems to me that part of the challenge, for example, of non-Muslims in America is to realize, as I said earlier, that Muslims are us, that Muslims are second, third, and fourth generation, that Muslims are Americans. The challenge to some in the Muslim community is to figure out how they want to define being Muslim in America. That is, it's not just a question of living in America, it's living with others in America. It's not just a question of being here, it's a question of the with. How do Muslims participate in the political system? How do Muslims not only preserve the sense of identity and community, but also interact with their neighbors as neighbors, not just in the workplace, but in the neighborhood? Yeah.
Hold on a second. I have to just make a procedural point here. We only have maybe about 4 minutes. And hold on, please. I'm going to give the chance to the ladies to ask 2 questions, if you don't mind.